Hi everyone, I'm Doug from DigiPen in Redmond. In this video, we'll finally give our hero something to shoot at by adding an enemy to the game. A space shooter with nothing to shoot at isn't much of a shooter, is it? Our first enemy is going to start out really simple, and we'll add depth to it later. For now, it'll just be a basic sprite that appears when the game starts and disappears when it's hit by a bullet. Let's take a look at some of the concepts we'll be using before we roll up our sleeves and get to work. It's common for games to detect when two objects are touching each other and make something happen because of it. For example, a character might stop falling when they land on a platform. Or a monster might be defeated when the hero's sword touches it. When two objects are touching in a video game, they are said to be colliding. The process that a game uses to check for this is called collision detection, and it's one of the most important processes in video games. Fortunately, Scratch does it for us. In Scratch Invaders, we'll use collision detection to make the enemy react to being hit by a bullet. Scratch has a set of reporter blocks that can tell you when an object is colliding with another object, or the mouse pointer, or even when it's touching something that has a specified color. These blocks report either true or false, so they're perfect for the condition slot of an if-then block. Using them this way allows us to run code only if a sprite is colliding with a certain other sprite, for instance. This is what we'll do with the enemy. Check whether it's colliding with a bullet. If it is, we can make the enemy react to that somehow. We'll do the check again and again as long as the game is running. Let's get started. Load what you've already done in that project, or visit the link in the description below, and then click the See Inside button. When the project is loaded, it's time to create an enemy. First, we'll need to add a new sprite to the game, so click the Choose a Sprite button. Look through the list and find something that would work well as an enemy in your game. After adding the new sprite, change its name to Enemy. Feel free to change its size however you like. The first thing we'll do is make the enemy react to being hit by a bullet. Let's begin by making a function that will contain all of the code that should run when the enemy is hit. Now, we don't have to decide on everything that we'll put inside it right away. If we just create the function now, we'll have a place to put the code when we figure all of that out later. Click the pink My Blocks category on the left, and then click the Make a Block button in the block palette. The Make a Block dialog will appear. Name the function HitByBullet, and then click OK. The HitByBullet block is added to the block palette, and a define block is added to the code area for the new function. So, what should the enemy do when it is hit by a bullet? Well, it would be logical to say that it is destroyed and maybe the player scores some points or something like that. We can take care of all of that later. For now, let's just make the enemy sprite disappear. We can do this with the Hide block. Click the purple Looks category on the left and find the Hide block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and add it to the body of the HitByBullet function. This function is good enough for now. So, when should we call it? Well, if the enemy has collided with a bullet, then this function should be called. If then, we'll need an if-then block. Click the gold Control category on the left. Find the if-then block in the block palette and drag it into the code area. The condition we are checking is whether the enemy is touching the bullet sprite, so we'll need to use one of the collision detection blocks. Click the light blue Sensing category on the left and find the first touching block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and drop it in the condition slot of the if-then block. This block has a drop-down list containing all of the game's sprites, plus the mouse pointer and the edge, referring to the edge of the game window. Open this list and select Bullet. Now, if the enemy is touching the bullet, we want to call the HitByBullet function. Click the pink My Blocks category on the left and find the HitByBullet block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and attach it inside the mouth of the if-then block. Now, where should we put this if-then block? In its own function. In the block palette, click the Make a Block button. This function checks whether the enemy has been hit by a bullet, so a good name for it would be something like Check if hit by bullet, or Was I hit by a bullet, or something like that. We'll go with Bullet Check, which is more concise. Name the function Bullet Check and click OK. Now add the if-then block to the body of the bullet check function. Okay, now we have finished the bullet check function, but we don't know when to call it. Well, the enemy should check for collision with the bullet again and again as long as the game is running. In other words, it will need to happen in a forever loop. Click the gold Control category on the left. Find the Forever block in the block palette and drag it into the code area. Now click the pink My Blocks category on the left and find the Bullet Check block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and attach it inside the mouth of the Forever block. This loop needs to begin as soon as the game starts, so we'll need a Start block. Click the light yellow Events category on the left and find the Start block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and attach it to the top of the Forever block. Now we can test the enemy out. Click the green flag. Fly the hero into position underneath the enemy and press the spacebar to shoot. When the bullet hits the enemy disappears, just as planned. There's a bit of a problem here, though. We need to get the enemy back. We want the enemy to reappear when the game starts. This means that we should create a function that runs once at the start of the game, an initialize function. Click the pink My Blocks category on the left, and then click the Make a Block button in the block palette. Name the new function Initialize and click OK. Find the Initialize block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and attach it between the Start block and the Forever block, like this. Now it seems that we'll have to use a Show block to reverse the effects of the Hide block that is executed when the enemy is hit by a bullet. Click the purple Looks category on the left and find the Show block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and add it to the body of the Initialize function. Click the green flag. The enemy sprite reappears. Shoot it and it disappears. Click the green flag and it's back again. Of course, every time we click the green flag, we have to sit through the hero's starting sequence. It looks and sounds great, so we don't want to get sick of it already. Let's take it out for now. Select the hero sprite in the sprite pane, and then drag the body of the starting sequence function away from its define block, like this. We can leave it right here for as long as we like. A useful trick to remember while developing new features in a video game is removing things like this intro. It's important to be able to make small changes and test them quickly. then make more changes and test them again and again. This happens throughout the process of making a game, so it's a good idea to reduce this sort of slowdown until you're done working on the game. So, when we're finally finished with Scratch Invaders, we need to remember to put the starting sequence function back together. The enemy is done for now. We'll give it more features later, like the ability to move around and shoot its own bullets, but right now, let's move on to something else. The enemy should also be able to destroy the hero, or there isn't much challenge in the game, is there? We can make the hero check for a collision with the enemy the same way that the enemy checks for a collision with the bullet. This means that the hero should have functions called hit by enemy and enemy check, just like the enemy's hit by bullet and bullet check functions. With the hero sprite selected, click the pink My Blocks category on the left, and then click the Make a Block button. Name the function hit by enemy and click OK. Click the Make a Block button again and name the new function enemy check. Let's write the hit by enemy function first. When the enemy is hit by a bullet, it disappears. What should happen here when the hero is hit by an enemy? Well, what normally happens in a video game in situations like this? It's different from game to game, but it's often something along the lines of playing a sound effect and restarting the level. In our case, for now, we'll just make the hero disappear, but we can do more with it later. After all, we have a convenient place to put the code. Click the purple Looks category on the left and find the Hide block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and add it to the body of the hit by enemy function. Now we can move on to the enemy check function. Just as we did with the enemy's bullet check function, we'll use an if-then block and a touching reporter block to check for collision with the enemy. Click the gold Control category on the left and find the if-then block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and add it to the body of the enemy check function. Now click the light blue Sensing category and find the first touching block. Drag and drop it in the condition slot of the if-then block. Select Enemy from the drop-down list. Now click the pink My Blocks category and find the Hit by Enemy block. Drag it into the code area and attach it inside the mouth of the if-then block. Now we just need to add the enemy check function somewhere. As with the enemy's bullet check function, it needs to happen inside a loop. Find the main forever loop in the code area. Now find the enemy check block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and attach it to the bottom of the boundary check block inside the mouth of the forever block, like this. Now it's time to test this new feature. You may need to move the enemy to a position in the game window that the hero can reach. When you're ready, click the green flag. Move the hero into the enemy sprite and the hero disappears. And now we have the same problem that we had before with the enemy. We need to get the hero back somehow. This is easy, of course. Find the Initialize function in the code area. Click the purple Looks category and find the Show block. Drag it into the code area and add it to the body of the Initialize function. Now click the green flag. The hero is back. Touch the enemy sprite. The hero is gone. Everything seems to be working properly now. There's more we can do, such as making the bullet also disappear when it hits the enemy, and we certainly want the enemy to be able to move around, but we will cover these things later. Let's recap what we've learned in this video. First, we took a look at one of the most important features in video games, collision detection. which is what we call the process of the game checking whether objects are touching each other. We looked at some of the things that games do with collision detection, such as making a character stop falling when they land on a platform, or defeating an enemy when they're hit by the hero's weapon. Next, we added an enemy sprite to Scratch Invaders. We made it so that the enemy is defeated when it collides with the hero's bullet. Finally, we also caused the hero to be defeated by the enemy when they collide. In the next video, we'll learn how to use the relationships between colors to help our games look good.